Hello guys and welcome to Allegia IX España Company Fields 2 Faction Focus. I've had some reviews of some people asking me to do a Faction Focus, and I've played Company Fields 2 for over 500 hours now, and there's not going to be any major updates. There's going to be a couple of patches still to come, but nothing majorly game changing, so I decided now is a good time to do this Faction Focus. So I know three factions mainly. I know Oberkommando West, British Forces in Wehrmacht pretty well. Soviets and USF, I need to play a bit more before I will bring you one of these videos. But first, it's going to my strongest faction is the OKW. I'm going to walk you through the basics of the OKW, the pros and cons, and that they can be defeated relatively simply. So I'm going to start with the basic unit, which is the Sturm Pioneer. Everybody calls them overpowered and too good, but they're not really that overpowered. As we can see here, we'll zoom into the model. You have the 4 STGs, and they're really good at close range combat, but they won't win at mid-long range, and if they go into a building, all you need to do with riflemen is outrange them. The Oberkommando's base structure is quite strange and unique. As we can see here, you've got the Sturm Pioneers, then you've got the Volksgrenadier Squad, the Kubelwagen, and the Kennwerfer. And the way they move stuff around is through these things called SWS half tracks, which most of you know. And I'm doing this tutorial for someone who knows a little bit about the game, but doesn't know a whole lot. So I'm not going to go through the basics of everything, like how to set down a base. I want to say where's a good place to set down a base for your troops. So basically what I'm going to do is, Volksgrenadiers are a decent-ish unit, but they'll be conscripts, but they'll lose to riflemen at a close range, and maybe even a long range, and they'll lose to penal battalions pretty easily as well. With the SCGs at close range, it does narrow the odds down, which is the upgrade here for 60, which I recommend you get. But the best way to even up your odds is to do this. You put down a heavy sandbag behind every point, and you'll do a good. It'll provide you that heavy cover you need, and if you put it behind the point like this, your enemy will sort of struggle quite a bit to use it. So second of all, third unit we have on the roster, we have the Kubelwagen, very nice mobile unit here. That does a lot of good things here, as we can see. I should have put it on Annihilation, so I have plenty of time, but I think I'll be fine. As we'll see. The Kubelwagen will do okay at close range. It will also do good. It's better at long range, however, but you need to be careful because it will take some pretty hefty fire after a while. Next of all, we're going to go to the Kennwerfer, and I'll bring you out a half track. The main strengths of the OKW, in my eyes, personally, are its survivability and its durability. Volksgrenadiers are a very cheap unit, in my opinion, and I don't know why I put against Wehrmacht. I should have put it against an allied faction. Trust me, it'll be fine. So, one of the Oberkommando West's most unique weapons is the cheap AT guns. It's not as powerful, and it's just as powerful as a AT gun, sorry, but its range is decreased. As you can see, its arm isn't as big, and it's not as good as range. However, it does have a secret weapon up its sleeve, and that secret weapon is the fact that it has this. Everyone has this free fire button. It has this camouflage button. As we can see, it's camouflage, so only you can see it when it's like this, and tanks won't see it, so enemies won't see it on the map unless they're really, really close. The only downside to this is it makes it running really slowly, so the best time is to get it into position of where you want it and place it down. So that's basically it. Now, if you're going for a rush game, which I suggest you do as an OKW, which is the majority, is the first thing you want to bring up is many people decide I'm going to go for convert to battle group headquarters to get my healing up. I don't do that. I go for a mechanised regimental headquarters. There's a reason for this. It's a good way to get that early armour out, and it's a good way to. You should always be able to rush out of loops before the enemy should rush out to Stuart. And the good thing is to this, you will be able to conquer the map and get that extra fuel resource in before the American player can start cashing up resources. This is if you're facing Americans. It works differently. It works practically the same as the Russians, so they don't bring out their T-70, and the British, so they don't bring out their armoured car. Because out of the four factions, personally, I would say that the Oberkommando West out of the 5, sorry, its early game tank that's equivalent is not as good. However, for a little bit more fuel, I think about 10 more fuel, you can get a really good one for. It's called Puma. You can get the Puma for the OKW, which is a really good, really good vehicle for them. So overall, the base building, the base starting building, they have an AT gun, a rifleman, a Recant Rare, and a Kuba wagon. So they have everything. They have everything you need for an early game, and even mid to late game. If you can survive off that building for a long time before you need armor. That's the good thing about the OKW. Right, the Wehrmacht have to build a building, as we'll see here. Sturm Pioneers will dominate these guys at close range. If this was a long range fight, that would not be the case. I'm going to retreat these guys. Cool, we're getting some nice kills there as well. So right, now I'm just saving up for the 50 fuel, and we will build the mechanized regiment. However, there is one setback to being OKW, and if you're one of these people who really likes to indulge in the resource flow by investing quite a lot, by investing in caches and stuff like that. Unfortunately, OKW, you can't do that because it is to rectify that it is late game German warfare. Okay, so I'm going to look into some of the things. The SCHU Mine 42. It's a relatively okay mine. It can only kill 2 units in a squad. It will do the same amount of damage to an infantry unit it will do a vehicle. It is a very good all-around mine. Equivalent to the British one, I would say. But not as good as the German AT mine, which is quite good itself. Don't know why there's a bunker there, but there is. And also the good thing about the Sturm Pioneer is you get this support package. Squad leads the firepower of the main as a mine detector. However, there's a little bug for this. Not a bug, sorry. There's a little pro to having this as well. There's this button here that says put away minesweeper. Put away minesweeper, and you've got the full squad back. So if you suspect there's a mine there, you can bring your guy out. Good. So also, I've had some questions about how to get troops out of buildings and things like that. I will also be doing that in this video as well, and I'll just head over there right now. So, we'll get the mechanized division down here, not too close to base, but too far away. So where we can heal my tanks without having to go all the way back to base. As you see, the mine went off. Killed half the squad, especially it's really good against grenadiers. As you'll see, this is an easy area. I'm just keeping the guy at bay at the moment, just to keep everything happy and everything like that. So basically, we'll get into this building here, and we'll show you what to do. So, let's say you're in this building. You're getting overwhelmed pretty heavily. You're getting shot at. But you don't want to come out this way, because if you come out the front way, your unit's going to die. But that's it, fine, because of this. And you're going to get pinned, and you want to get out there. You select the unit in the building like so. Press the unload select troops, and you come up with this little icon, and you press it here, and they'll come out the nearest door to that area. So which is here. So they come out the front door, they come out the side door, and they go away from the MG. So, yeah, the mechanized. And in the mechanized, you can get this upgrade called the Repair Pioneers. It costs 15 extra fuel and 100 manpower to do. It's relatively alright to do. I tend to do it after the loops because you don't want to drain any resources away from the loops. And I said, one of the thing is, though, with the Volks as well, is it has these incendiary grenades, so they're not as good point blank up. Well, let's say an enemy is behind heavy cover. These will have a bigger use of the overall than the basic grenade, because let's say they're behind heavy cover. Well, let's say they're in a building. You can follow these grenades. They're relatively cheap at 30 and a decent range victim, and we'll see. And they'll do really good at burning. It's like a flamethrower, and it'll do really good at burning these pioneers out of this building, and even doing a decent amount of structural damage against them. So it's an overall good grenade, and it has your basic Panzerfaust there. Right, I can't explain this without killing a Kuba wagon, so I will kill a Kuba wagon to explain how this works. Not many people forget this with OKW, and I will have to suicide my Kuba wagon in here, which I will happily do to this MG, and then we'll kill the MG and everything. So in the meantime, we'll build the Lukes, because we've got to kill this thing eventually as well. So, I'll throw another incendiary grenade on this, and we'll see what happens. So right, Kuba wagon's dead. You might think, oh, Overcommando, we have no use for it now. Blah, 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 blah. It's a flaming pile of crap. It is a flaming pile of crap. But what flaming piles of crap can give you, and this works in 3 ways. If the vehicle has been decrewed, but you don't want it. Let's say you see a steward on the field, it's mid-game, you've got panels of 4 out, you don't really need the steward, but you don't want to let your enemy get it, and you want to get some resources from it. Then you hit this button here, called Salvage Operations. And as you see, as it's direct, I can get, as you see over the description, use upon erect, team weapons for fuel 5, abandoned vehicles for fuel 12. So this does not just work on vehicles, this works on MG. Let's say there's dead MGs, dead mortars on the field, and you OKW, you don't need to destroy them. You can just salvage them, and you get 5 fuel out of it. So you're still getting something out of the whole thing. So we have the Panzer II AF Lukes on the field. So I'll go into this a bit more soon. But for starters, I just want to finish this off. There we go, and we salvage this. The majority of units, the Pioneers, and the Volkswagens, are your main units that can do this, and they go into like an engineer, like they're healing a tank sort of thing. And as we'll see very shortly, 5 fuel, which is good. Panzer II Lukes is a mainly anti-infantry and can pretty much destroy half-tracks. Or basically, going as a half-track, I would recommend this thing because its fire is more sustained and it will kill them a lot quicker. It will kill it a lot quicker than an armoured car or T-70 instead of personal preference. So after that we have, so the Panzer II is a good overall tank. It has the suppressive fire ability at Vet 5, which has recently been added in the latest patch. So when you get a Vet 5, you get these the Lukes gunner will fire blindly on the target, suppressing infantry in the area. It's very good thing to have. I've rarely had it there because usually Lukes tend not to survive too long unless you. I've had it a couple of times, but not a huge amount of time. So we'll just let it fire against these grenadiers coming in here. Let's capture some more munitions things, but we won't capture over one because we don't want the game to be over too quickly. We did Faust me. Anyways, it didn't take too much damage on the Faust. I'll send my guys to heal that pretty nicely there. We're getting so my manpower is stacking up, so right now I'll probably get another supply. The Puma is in very similar ways. It is what the Stuart is, but it is better. It has probably the same armour as a Stuart, and probably in a 1-on-1 engagement near the medium to close range, the Puma will lose. Because the Puma is not as fast, the turret is not as mobile, and the Stuart will just win. However, if you can use this thing as a tank destroyer, it will win against. I have killed Shermans with this thing. It is that good. I've killed Shermans with it on multiple occasions because it's that good. Next we have the battle group headquarters. Usually put next to base is the best place for it because you can upgrade it to have these medical. You have these medics coming in, which is a very good thing. Let's capture this fuel. And the Luke's heal. Also, with the Stern Pioneers, I didn't realise, early game, when you don't have a lot of resources, not a lot of resources, sorry, and you don't have a lot of fuel, and you really want the Luke's help, you don't want to, and you want to heal your guys, but you can't because you don't have this battle group headquarters. There's a thing called medical supplies. It should cost 30, but I have an intel bulletin that costs 27, so I save myself a little bit of munitions. And you place this box down, and it was very quickly, it's done very quickly. And it produces 3 boxes. This is 3 first aids basically. So if your squad's injured, so I'll bring this squad back to base. And I'll upgrade one actually with the STGs just to let you guys see what they look like. We'll bring this back to base like this.
The command vehicle has converted to a static building.
Slowly. And what this does is it's very good as it's like one guy heal, so this will fully heal up just one box. Make sure not to double click it. One box on the top, and it will fully heal the squad. It's first aid supplies. It's a bit like the Soviet drop or the German drop where you can drop in medical supplies for your teammates. It's a bit like that, but it's at base. So you can stack up these boxes as many as you want, and it helps early game because you can heal your squads relatively quickly. And it's not too. It does get a little bit expensive if you keep on having to use it, but it's good until you can get out this battle headquarters. Right, the battle group headquarters can have 2 things. They can have the field medics, which are here for 15. I'm not going to do it because I want to save up as much fuel as possible for the tank base and everything, and I'll tell you a bit more about that. And the fallback point. There's 2 ways you can have. You can use it. You can use it back at base with the field medics, so every time you retreat, you guys can heal. However, if you feel like you're going to be a confident front line and keep on pushing, you might want to place your about here or about here. And click the fallback button, which costs 300, and select it, because people forget to press it there, and actually you unlock it, and then you select it. So I'll get an infantry support gun now as well, and that is, and then you fall back, and then you guys can heal and go back into the fight quicker because you can reinforce them there as well. The bad thing is if you get pushed back pretty heavily by an enemy armor attack at the late game, there is a hefty chance you could possibly even lose that forward headquarters, battle group headquarters. So I don't risk it because this is a decent amount of fuel. And if you want to win an economic war against your opponent, that is not what you're supposed to be doing. Anyway, they had to cap that fuel, so I'm going to recap that fuel pretty quickly. So, that's that. This is all based on my strategy and my tips and tricks of how I like to play. Like, I'm not doing everything I like to do now. Like now, I would capture this. I would. There we go. There's a puma. So usually Wehrmacht don't have pumas, which is quite surprising. So he's gone for the the other division. I've got the name of it now, actually. There's one where you can get Austria, but you can get one as well. I'll go into some doctrines for my commander, so I'll just deal with this. And I'll show you how a Puma is not very good at close range, and how it will struggle to take on. I'll move the AT back because I'll finish it off with the as you see, the Puma's a good tank, but it can't do well. Its rear armour is not that good, and its turret is not too fast, but it can keep up with me. But all I need to do is flank it because I'm a lot quicker. And there's the enemy unit dead in the water. Also, when you get your first building unlocked, you can unlock your MG34, which is unlocked after you get anything. It can be either mechanized or battle group on the field at the start. So, for now on, until that has been built and my truck has been built, I am going to show you about the 7.5 LEIG 18 support gun. I really like this thing. It is quite expensive, as it's like a mortar practically. I'm going to call it practically. It's the Overcommando's equivalent of having a mortar. And what it is it has a longer range but a little smaller arc, and it has like a curving thing, so it can go over buildings, and it's got that because it's got that curvability. As we'll see, it has a very nice firing mechanism, and it's really good. It has these little shells. They go fire. I'm just waiting to reload. It's going to fire. Nope, because there's nothing inside. Anyways, so now we're going MG34, and this is a really good thing. It's really good. If you want to put some money in to get into some artillery, this is the way for you to go, in my honest opinion. So now we've done that, I want to show you. We have this converted Schwachem Panzer headquarters, which is the flak emplacement headquarters, and there's a reason why we call it flak. We'll have it built, and we'll show you a bit more about it. In the meantime, I'm going to tell you about the three doctrines I pick and why. I like the special operations because it's practically the meta for this game on OKW. Because you have the radio signals, your infiltration tactics, those grenades are really good. And you've got your infrared SDG packages for your Obersoldaten, which will do really well at long range, your artillery flares, recon that can't be shot down, and you have your Panther command tank on top of that, which is practically a Panther on steroids. Nothing much really to say about that. Also, for the OKW Sturm Pioneers, I'll tell you when this guy gets back at base. It can be upgraded with two things. You can support package, which I've already shown you pretty normally now, and there's also something else. Okay. You have this thing called the combat package, where you gain cold immunity, which is really nothing unless you're playing against Blizzard maps, and you get a Panzer Shrek, which is good against armor. So right, now we have our Panzer headquarters up and running. There is four things you can build from this building, and these things are your Obersoldaten, which is your elite infantry. Debating on which doctrine you pick, it can be upgraded with the light MG42, like the normal German Wehrmacht Grenadiers can. The Jagdpanzer, which is in my equivalent, it is an upgraded version of a Stug assault. It's an upgraded version of a Stug. It has got slightly better armor than a Stug. It can have side skirts when it gets to veterancy, the same as the Stug, but it also has a bigger gun with a longer range. And it has the same gun as a Panther. So this thing can penetrate armor the same as a Panther, it just doesn't have that anti-infantry mechanic. This is quite expensive, it's 400 manpower, and the 135. Now you've got the Panzer IV. You might think, this is just the Panzer IV, the same as the Wehrmacht. But it's not the same as the Wehrmacht. What it is it costs more fuel. It costs 50 more fuel, no, it costs 25 more fuel than the normal Panzer IV. The reason for this is why its weapon. The stats in this game are quite strange with the Oberkommando and the Wehrmacht Panthers and Panzer IVs are different. The OKWs will always be slightly more stronger because it costs more. 25 fuel more to be exact. And the Panzer IV medium tank, I'm not sure if its stats for attack are better, however it does have those 2 side skirts on it from the start, which makes it a very powerful tank. Then you got the Panther. It's practically the exact same as the Wehrmacht, apart from it costs 25% more fuel, and I believe that increases its damage against vehicles and infantry, so it's an overall better tank. So I'll produce you another Soldaten, and I'll produce you a Jagdpanzer, because you can see both of these vehicles as the Wehrmacht anyways, so I might as well show you the unique unit out of the OKW's roster. So, just for an example, I'm going to go. So I was on Luftwaffe ground support now, so I like that. The heavy fortifications aren't that good. The flak emplacements are good if you're getting constant air drops in to take out them. Pretty decent. The reconnaissance path is the only doctrine in the OKW arsenal. I can call it reconnaissance planes. The Fallschirmjäger, which can spawn out of buildings, the Valiant Assault, which improves, and the Airborne Assault, which is Stuckers will strafe a certain area and then drop another Fallschirmjäger in. So covered Fallschirmjäger drop basically, it's like paratroopers. Then you got the Breakthrough Doctrine, you got the Sturm Officer, the Breakthrough Tactics, the Panzer Fusiliers are very good at long range, 6 in a squad, only OKW, and German unit I believe to have 6 men in a squad. So it's very good. So just to show you a little bit, I'm going to use this Sober Soldat, upgrade it, and it has this ability called Booby Trap Position. And what this does is this. I press it on a certain point, like over here, which I'm going to do now, and it goes over, it costs 50 munitions, and it does a booby trap. So the minute the guys come into cap point, this thing blows up and kills like 2 guys next to it. I really like it, it's really good. Just for the basics of this game, I am going to pick Fallschirmjäger because I want to show you some new things. And now you pick this, once you have all 3 buildings with OKW, this is where it gets special. With all 3 buildings, you unlock a thing, you have to pick a doctrine first to be able to build this thing. And it is called, you get the King Tiger, which is very expensive. It's 720 manpower, it's 21 pop cap, which is over my pop cap right now, and 280 fuel. So it's a very, very big beast, so to speak. You see the easy AI is just trying its best. So, as the Jagdpanzer is on, I'm going to show you a bit about it. Okay, and I'll try and show you a King Tiger if we have time. Okay, so as you see, the Jagdpanzer is a sexy beast. We'll see with the camera angle. That gun is the exact same as a Panther's gun. It has an extended range over the Panther due to its tank destroy capability. It is a beast of a tank, and it can take down. It can't take it. It's a bit like a Jackson, but I prefer this to the Jackson because the Jackson's a big beast and it's just very meh. I don't like it. But this thing is really good, and it can take out any tank in the game. This can pierce, so it will struggle against a Churchill's frontal armour. Most tanks will struggle against a Churchill's frontal armour, like I said, for a King Tiger and a Tiger. Even Panthers will struggle against the frontal armour of a Churchill because its armour is so thick. So, on that one I'm going to show you the last thing before we're going to call this replay over, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Is I'm going to show you how to use guerrilla deployment units. Some of you might not know how to use guerrilla deployment units, and you might spawn them onto the field back at base. But this is how you spawn it. You press left click on the unit, and you pick a build. You find an abandoned building, but this does not work if there is enemies inside this building. So I know there's nothing in this building, so I'm going to click it. So let me see, I've left clicked on this, and I'm not going to left click on this building, and the unit just pops out of the building. Like so. Also, just to get it out there, the bundle grenade is one of the best grenades in the game. I really like it. It's very powerful. It's quite heavy. It is one of the most expensive there. We'll call it a reconnaissance path as well. I'll use the value of assault because why not? So guys, I hope you enjoyed this faction focus on the Oval Commando West. If there's anything I've missed out that you really want me to know, let me know and I will try and mention it a little bit in my next faction focus. Because basically the only thing I missed out is I haven't shown you a King Tiger yet. That's because I think it's going to be very difficult for the normal AI to deal with what I've got built now. Before I go, I'm going to show you how good this tank is at killing other tanks. So the range is great, and it's a lot of damage per shot, as you can see. this thing will really do a lot of damage against this because the range is really good. Like the Panzer IV can't shoot back at the moment because of the range. And he tries to get out of there. And he doesn't get out of there. And there we go and use the Fallschirmjäger. You get out with the Fallschirmjäger. Use the building ability to get out on the other side. But for some reason, when I came out the other side, the Panzer IV decided to try and wipe the squad. I managed to wipe the squad. So we'll kill this Panzer IV and then we'll call the game. Because usually that's very rare that the minute I get out, he got the shot at the right time and killed it. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or any comments on how the game is, also before I go, I'm going to announce the winner of the North Guard game giveaway, and the winner is my random generator here, my other monitor, my laptop. Sorry, 3, 2, 1, and the winner is Zeva Banol. So Banol, you're the lucky winner of the North Guard game. If you Steam message me on Steam, if I don't already have his friend, that is fine. I believe, yes, I do have Banol as a friend. So there we go. Unlucky for everyone else that's joined, but if you stay subscribed, guys, I will be always doing a monthly giveaway of certain games and DLCs for certain factions, or even a Steam voucher giveaway. So stay tuned next time, guys, for some more faction focuses and some more giveaways. And congratulations to Banol for winning the North Guard game. So thank you for watching, everyone, and you all have a good day.